I have lived a unique life, to say the least, with way more curveballs than I could have ever anticipated or asked for. Some I dodged, some knocked me down, but every single one taught me something. And no, I am not a therapist, not a doctor, but after the amount of trauma I've had to study in the field, and by field, I mean my own life, I could probably have an honorary PhD at this point. What's up, everybody? You're listening to the very first episode of Rebuild Different. I'm Epiphany Page. Rebuild Different is about keeping it real with healing, growth, and moving past who you had to become just to survive. Because healing isn't about going back. It's about making your own messy, imperfect, but uniquely you path. Let's get into it. So before we dive into this, you should know where it started. When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with a very rare nasal cancer. So rare that only 3 other cases in the world had been reported. And I was a kid in New Hampshire, one of the only Black families in my town, and then suddenly everything shifted. And cancer it's not just a diagnosis, it is a full-on life takeover. Like the treatments, the surgeries, the feeling of being so fragile and so weak, and then having to keep going. And because I was a kid, it forced me to grow up a whole lot quicker than I probably would have. But after treatment, I wanted to get back to what felt normal, so I went back to school full time, and I threw myself into training for the high jump. So sports actually became my way to reclaim my body and my strength and my future. And eventually that took me away from New Hampshire to New York City, where I got a full athletic scholarship to college. And then once I graduated, I started working and then started building a life that I thought was on track. But then in 2018, something else happened that kind of ripped the rug out from underneath me. And I had a stroke out of nowhere. And it sidelined me for about a year. And it was a full year of trying to redefine what it meant to live and to survive and to heal. And that brings me to the reason that I started this podcast. It's because healing is messy, it's nonlinear, and it's not some perfect journey that you see on social media or the healers who read books but haven't actually lived through the trauma. For over 20 years, I lived in survival mode. Through cancer, through a stroke, through toxic relationships, and always feeling like the outsider. My story is mine, but I know parts of it will sound familiar to you. Different paths, same survival instinct. So this show is for anyone who has been through hell and back and is still standing, or maybe still stumbling but still fighting. And it's for people who feel like the system or the world or even themselves have tried to shrink their light, because I have been there. And on Rebuild Different, I'm going to help you spot those patterns in dating, in identity, in job loss, in dealing with narcissists and dusty ass MFs and losing yourself in the chaos. Because I'm not here to give you guys surface level advice. I'm the one who has been through the fire and who's lived through some trauma, and I am still rebuilding every day. If you're ready to stop pretending that you have it all together, and if you're ready to stop swallowing that one-size-fits-all healing narrative, then you are in the right place. What you can expect from Rebuild Different, some days it'll be just me sharing lessons that I've learned and how I started pulling myself out of some really dark places and how I started shifting my thinking. Other episodes, I'll be sitting down with guests who have rebuilt their lives after something life-altering, and other people who have been through the fire, just like you and I. It'll be real, messy, and definitely always honest. You can expect some crash outs for sure, some tough love, and that kind of straight talk that you would get from your very direct best friend. The one who's been through some serious shit, but still wants the best for you. So if that sounds like your kind of space, I'm excited to go on this journey with you. And if you're feeling this, please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Share this with your friends, your family, or anyone else who's rebuilding, or who might need to feel a little less alone. And if you're down to connect, follow me on Instagram at rebuilddifferent, DM me, let me know what you're rebuilding. I would love to hear your story. And until next time, keep going, keep choosing yourself, and remember, you're not broken, you're just rebuilt different.